Hello guys! Last week I didn't manage to release a news episode, so today we're going to have a roundup of 2 weeks news at once. And by the way, I think it's time for me to start a new tradition, so I'd like to thank everyone who supports my channel on Patreon, actually both of them. So, New York City plans to install 500 on-street bicycle parking garages over the next 5 years. Mayor Bill de Blasio's previous attempt to explore secure bike parking pilots in some locations failed in 2020 when the Department of Transportation said it couldn't find vendors that meet its requirements. Now, the most common type of bicycle parking will be low-capacity units located in residential neighborhoods that will accommodate either standard bicycles, adapted bicycles, or cargo bicycles. And one curbside parking space should be able to accommodate 10 to 12 standard bikes. Safe bike parking is a necessity in a city where bike theft requires the use of industrial chains, and many apartments in the city don't have room for bike storage. A 2021 report by the organization Transportation Alternatives states that 1 of every 4 households in the city reported a bike theft. Of course, such bicycle garages are a very useful thing for development of cycling in the city, but 5 years? It takes that long for someone to build a subway line, and here are just the bicycle garages. Why is it taking so long? Vancouver City Council is expected to approve a recommendation to officially designate this 9-kilometer corridor as a public street. It will be used only for pedestrian and bicycle traffic with no cars allowed, and will also include recreation areas and new trees. And some major development projects along the greenway already include active facades, such as the proposal by TransLink and PCI Development to build a 30-story mixed-use tower at 2096 West Broadway. While the municipal trolleybus system in Sao Paulo is under risk of closure and transition to battery and diesel buses, the suburban system is likely to see an expansion and modernization process. Brazilian manufacturers Mercedes-Benz, Caio, Eletra, and WEG have built the first prototype of a 21.5 long low-floor vehicle called the e-trol, which has a total capacity of 146 passengers. It is planned that 92 of these 4-axle articulated buses will mainly operate on the future 17.5-kilometer BRT route between São Bernardo do Campo and Secoma. Interesting that the contact network along the line will be laid only in one direction, as the e-trol electric buses will use high battery capacity to cover longer stretches without wires in autonomous operation. Optimistic plans call for the first part of this new corridor to open in 2025. The Polish company PESA Bydgoszcz has manufactured the first tram for Tallinn. The tram arrived to the Estonian capital a few days ago and now will start testing. And PESA still has to produce 22 more trams remaining under the contract signed in 2022. The company has offered Tallinn a 3-section tram from the Twist family, 29 meters long, capable of carrying up to 309 passengers, 65 of which are seated. Their design speed is 80 km per hour and the operational speed is 50. A new generation of high-speed trains Talgo Avril has been launched in Spain. The first 10 trains have started running on lines from Madrid to Galicia and Asturias, offering the ability to travel at speeds up to 330 km per hour. An important feature is that the trains can change the track gauge during operation. It allows them to travel on different rail networks, which is especially important in Spain, where there is both standard and wide gauge. Thanks to this technology, Talgo Avril can easily adapt to different routes without the need for additional transfers or changes in train composition. Another significant advantage of the new trains is their high speed. The ability to accelerate to 330 km per hour makes Talgo Avril one of the fastest trains in the world, and this significantly reduces travel time and makes rail travel even more attractive to passengers. Meanwhile, the city of Albuquerque, New Mexico, plans to turn a 7-mile stretch of abandoned railroad running around the city center into a bicycle path that will connect dozens of different important locations. The project is divided into parts that will be implemented gradually. Several architectural companies are involved in the project and various art installations will be placed along the road. So far, $39.5 million has been allocated for the project, 12 of which financed by the city budget and the rest by various grant programs. The total budget for the entire 7-mile route is estimated to reach $90 million. Additional funding will likely come from a combination of federal grants, state funds, and city budget. North Vancouver will build a $10 million bridge for pedestrians and cyclists over Highway 1. The overpass will link the Lute and Cedar Village neighborhoods, essentially establishing a seamless connection for pedestrians and cyclists between Rufus Drive's north and south sides. And it will also connect with existing and future greenway corridors. Currently, the shortest walking distance from the future bridge's endpoints is a 26-minute detour across Lynn Valley Road interchange to the west. So the overpass will create a new connection for the local residents that haven't been available since the 1960s when the highway appeared. The city of Bordeaux has presented 5 route options being studied for the future metro line. The study, which is still under discussion, will last until the end of 2024 to decide whether the project is viable. The main reason for the subway plans is the overload of the tram network, which is already operating at its limits. For example, Line A carries 105,000 passengers daily. At the same time, the subway will be able to carry 200,000 daily. But building a subway can be very expensive for the city, about 3 billion euros in total at the rate of 150 million euros per kilometer. So, city officials haven't made a final decision yet. Chilean Railways ETHI has announced an investment of more than $3 billion for Bio region. And here's what they plan to do. A tender for the design and environmental study for the Lota line extension. After nearly 20 years of announcements, ETHI will carry out the design and environmental study to move forward with this initiative. Next point is increasing train capacity. Between 2017 and 2024, the demand for Biotran increased 7 times from 8,000 passengers daily to almost 54,000 daily trips during the first months of 2024. So now it is planned to purchase 10 new trains, increase the platform length for receiving twin trains and boost the capacity of the contact network. It is also planned to modernize stations on Line 2, Coronel Concepcion, and complete a 2-track bridge over the Bio River, which will significantly increase the line's capacity. In addition, it is planned to modernize the railway connection with the city of Chillán and accordingly with the capital Santiago. And this will, among other things, create separate corridors for passenger and freight trains, which are currently share some sections. And that's all the news for this time. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit the like button and see you in the next videos.